Hi everyone, today we're going to look at lab sets of the DinoStore project. Now, lab sets actually deals with creating an image of our EC2 instance. Now before I actually go ahead with the technical details, let's look at how far we have actually covered from lab 1 to lab 5. Now, this whole project deals with migrating our DinoStore website, which is actually a e-commerce website dealing with the sale of dinosaur toys as you see over here. The whole project was made using Visual Studio, and we are actually in the process of migrating it step by step to the cloud. So in lab 1 we actually migrated all these images that you see over here, the JavaScript, the HTML files, etc., step by step to the cloud, and this has been done using the S3. S3 is a simple storage service. So let's look at S3. We can find that in S3 we have actually our DinoStore degraded file and the DinoStore resources. The DinoStore degraded has our index.html which we uploaded, and the resources have all the product images, the site images, etc. Then if you look at how far we have actually come, you can see that we have created our RDSDB instance replica and the RDSDB instance, the main instance, the two web servers because we need high availability, the Q server, the DynamoDB, and the S3. So you can see over here that our DynamoDB is actually ready, up and functioning. We actually have two instances, the dinosaur instance main and the replica too. So all of them are functioning properly. So now in this lab, we actually need to create an image of our instance so that we can actually restore it in case something happens to our main image. So we can do this by going into our EC2 management console and clicking on the image that you want to create. So I'd like to create an image of our web server. These are our other instances like web server 1, 2, and the Q server. So I'm going to create an image of our web server. So you click on the web server, you click on actions, you click on image, and then click on create image. It's that simple. Now image name, you actually give a name for your image like my web server image. Description, it's not necessary, just create a random description and click on create image. Now you can see that the image request is pending. Now all these images are created in the AMI, so you can find AMIs on the left side pane. Click on AMI, you can see that over here you can actually see our web server image being created. I've also created two other web server images, one web server image and one Q server image. So this will actually take some time to load. So this is how you create an image. Now how do you actually launch an image? Now launching an image is pretty easy. Just click on the image that you want to restore. So let's click on DynaQ server and click on actions and click on launch, or you can click directly on launch over here. Now when you click on launch, you have to configure the instance just like you actually create a new instance. So we use the free trial eligible one, the T2 micro. You configure the instance details. We only need one instance right now. If you need more, you can actually type it in the number of instances that you actually need. We're going to leave our network and subnet as default, but we have to replace our IAM role with the web server role because that's what we actually use. Now click on next, add storage. We're gonna leave the storage as default because that's what we actually need. Tags, if you want you can actually add tags so that you can actually recover or access it easily by just searching for it. Now the configure security group, we're gonna leave it as default and review and launch. Now over here you can either create a new key pair to log into your instance, or you can actually use an existing key pair. Since I actually have let's just create a new key pair. Now I'm gonna give a name for the key pair like my test key pair, and then click on download key pair. So that actually downloads my key pair over there, and then I'm gonna click on launch instance. So what happens over here is that we are actually restoring a replica of our server. So it says that my instance is now launching. So let's just go to our console, look on instances, can actually see that our instance is being launched. So this concludes our lab set. This is an easy lab, but this is an important part of our lab because we actually need to create backups of all our instances if we are actually deploying in the real world. So thank you for listening to my lecture. Hope we catch up in the next lab.